It is the last day for both the Threat of the West Rundall and the Chocolate Flan Raid event. Now, keep in mind, you can build up as much of these coins as you want, and then throughout the next 1 to 2 weeks, you can still purchase things from the shop. So, what are some of these last minute buys that you want to keep in mind when you're prioritizing your farming? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to House Guys. I'm your host, Norgoz. We're going to talk about all of those details today. If you like War of the Visions content, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and come back and see us again. We do appreciate you here. And of course, you can catch us on Twitch Tuesday through Friday and occasionally on the weekends. We focus primarily on For Honor, but we're moving War of the Visions into the mix from time to time. So give us a follow. It's down in the description below. And without further ado, let's talk about what we're going to prioritize. First, I'm going to start with Threat of the West Rundle because that is going to be available for the next 14 days in the shop. That means that these rainbow fragments of thought and these rainbow vision spheres that you may not have gotten yet, you want to make sure that you get these. Definitely get these. Definitely get the rainbow fragment of thought. If you can't get the vision sphere, rainbow fragments of thought are going to be used throughout all of the characters that you level up, regardless of what rarity they happen to be, all the way down to Zazan in the normal category. That's right, everybody uses rainbow fragments of thought to level them up. That's why it's so important to pick and choose your units carefully and focus on one, max them out, and then focus on another. You don't want to do 2 or 3 at the same time, especially not 2 or 3 of the same of the same element. You're going to run into such a headache. It's going to pressure you into buying stuff that you shouldn't be spending money on unless you have a bankroll. So here's some other things to take into consideration. So you got the rainbow fragments. Number one, here's what I would say: GIL snappers. You can get 10 of these per day. Cost 20 coins, 200 coins a day. This is 1 million GIL. This is they're basically throwing GIL at us. This is what I've been doing every single day when I log in. The very first thing I do is I go in here and get these large GIL snappers. I get 10 of these bad boys because you can do 10 per day. So that means for the next 14 days, you get 10 of these per day. So that means you need what? 200, you need 2,000, need what? Roughly 3,000 coins. I've already got more than that to get these GIL snappers for the next 2 weeks. And bada bing, right there, you're going to get 14 million GIL over the course of 14 days. Unless they shut down the dailies, but I don't see that happening. So, things to keep in mind. I don't think that the others are worth it. The adamantine, unless you're really desperate for it, I wouldn't bother. You can farm these from the equipment events that we have coming up constantly. The Ice Lance and the Platinum Rod event that's coming up with Victoria and Salir coming up tomorrow on Wednesday. Those are going to be available going forward. As of course, these are all going to, everything's pretty much going to come back. So everything in terms of equipment quest, that is. Secret books of refinement for gun. If you're really short on these and you're farming, you're just not getting enough from farming, you can burn your coins on this, but I would definitely prioritize get some ogre bristles, the void crystals from these, because these are 2 of the rarer things to get. You can get these black spirit sands all over the place from several different equipment quests, from regular from a lot of different places in the game as well. You can get these in the regular shop. The ogre bristles are going to be some of the rarest things you can get, so get all of these and get all of the void crystals, because they're both kind of in the same. Even though this is a rare thing, pretty much any crystal that comes up, like fire, especially if they're elements like light, fire, those elemental crystals, those are very few and far between. Void crystals are kind of in the same category, but they're a little easier to get a hold of. But definitely something to consider. Resmithing hammers for resmithing to reset an equipment stats. If you need these, we do get these over time. However, during login events and other ways, there's other ways to get that. I wouldn't prioritize that so much. These faint memories. Personally, I would skip these. Don't blow your load on those. You want to get all these other things that you may take priority. These fragments of thought, or prisms and whatnot. As you can see, I kind of went through and prioritized getting some wind and some other things, and those you can take through if you need to. If you get an excess of one or the other, you can take those through the item swap out shop, kind of go that route. So let's talk about the raid. Okay, there's a lot of good stuff in the raid as well. So you can get, I would make sure that you get enough crafting recipes for the Alexandrite crafting rings that you want, and get these rainbow fragments of thought. Spheres will come later. But the rainbow fragments of thought take precedence if you can only get one or the other, or you're kind of torn on which one to go with. Rainbow fragments of thought, you can never go wrong with these because, again, everybody uses them. Everyone uses these bad boys. The spheres are going to be limited to the to any type of ultra rare unit. Anytime you limit break them, anytime you're leveling them up or awakening them, at one point you'll start to see using these the rainbow spheres, and then you'll see the rainbow fragments of thought as well being used on everybody from like 5 to 6 star. So things to consider there. I got 3 Alexandrite rings, so I've at least got enough to plus one, not plus three, so I can craft 2 and get a +1 if I want. I have a whole day to do this, and I'm probably going to be streaming tonight, doing War of the Visions tonight as well, and we're going to be grinding out some of these raids. So if you guys want to stop by, twitch.tv/Norgoz, NORG0Z. Show usually starts about 7 Mountain Time. That's about 9 Central. To give you an idea, I'm in Arizona. We don't do daylight saving, so I never know what time you guys are doing stuff at. So we'll probably start with For Honor, move into War of the Vision stuff. So if you're wanting somebody to chain with, want somebody to raid with, or raid trade, raid swap out of, we can see about doing that. Again, looking at your prisms and whatnot, prioritize on those if you absolutely have to have those. But I would say down here, get some of these void mega crystals, because again, these are going to be like what I said with the void crystals. These are going to be even more difficult to get a hold of if you're farming the highest level, some of the higher levels of the Flan Raid. You're going to get several of these per run, so you may not be hurting as much as other people, but definitely get enough for these for at least one of the Alexandrite rings. If you're not able to get high enough, I would at least consider getting enough of those so that you can craft them up. The bone chips, joyful hearts, they're a little easier to get a hold of, although I think the joyful hearts are probably going to be between the bone chips and joyful heart. I think joyful hearts are harder to get a hold of. You can get energy restores if you're really desperate for energy. I don't think they're a priority. But I would say the whole point of this video is to say, okay, so you got 7 days left on this Flan Raid. Farm as much as you can. Figure out what it is in this shop that you want, that you have to have, and get a total, and then farm all that up before the end of the day, because you could still buy all this stuff tomorrow. So do the farming today, buy everything tomorrow and going forward. So as I understand it, the Alexandrite ring is probably going to come back in the future at some point, in some way. We'll always have ways of getting rainbow fragments of thought, rainbow vision spheres in some way, shape, or form. But the fragments of thought, those are the ones that definitely take priority. So those are some of the things in the shop to take into consideration for the priorities of what to get, what to buy, what to max out in the shop. But again, the big one, like I said, though, is the GIL snappers, the large GIL snappers. That's 1 million GIL per day for free. And I don't know about you, and I know I keep my GIL pretty high. I'm a little reserved. You know what I'm saying? But going in here in vision cards as an example, if I want to max out, say where we got? Okay, so if I want to max out this sharpen concentration from 30 to 50, I'm taking 251 of these bad boys, right? These growth eggs, and it's going to cost me 3 million GIL. 3 million GIL to do that. So this, and of course you have maxing out all of your units, all of your unit abilities. You're going to spend, millions of GIL on getting those maxed out. I think it's about somewhere between 3 and 5 to max out one individual. It's an ability, guys. Holy crap. Let me know in the comments if you have brain farts like I do and you don't know what to do with yourself. Okay. Moving right along here. So that's pretty much the video. That's pretty much the video. That's what I wanted to do. I got to wrap up another minute here for the YouTube formula. So I want to take a moment to thank you guys again for having me as part of the War of the Visions community. We've got a lot of really good feedback on the videos that we've been putting out, and I try to give you guys as much valuable information as I can in every single video, like the Flan Raid that I have. It's going to be a solo video, which I may or may not release, I guess. But whenever you're doing Flans, you can solo them. You just want to make sure that you work on building up AP, chaining, and build up AP, chain with units that have the same element, even if they don't have the same weapon type, things of that nature. So there's always a way to get through these raids, even if you can't get other people to join you, or you don't have the right units, you don't have the meta units, and you're having trouble getting in there. Also, steal time is a perfectly good option, is a perfectly good way of getting into some of these higher level raids. That's how I actually have done it until I got my Lucia high enough level to actually go in and chain. And she's still kind of a little underpowered, I think, as to where she could be. Usually we'll take in Yerma, and she will steal time, and strategically I will use my use abilities as like a chain finisher right before the boss comes back around. So I'm hitting some really big damage numbers myself at the end of those chains, and then kind of going from there. I think I use the term chain finisher, but there's not really finishers in the game. It's just it finishes the chain because it's slashing instead of missile. So I'm sorry, I was holding on to that forever. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I will see you in the next one. Let me know in the comments, what is the highest level of Flan Raid that you guys have gotten, and what are the things in the shop that you are saving for, that you are excited about now that it's going away. What are the things that you have got to have? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next one or tonight. Take care.